Hi YouTube, Gabrielle Renee back here with you guys, and today I'm going to be talking about how God is restoring my relationships with women, okay, like women friendships. And I'm going to tell my story just a little bit, not too much in detail, about why he's restoring my relationship with women and like the terrible experiences I have with women. So before I move forward, I wanted to introduce myself. Like I mentioned, my name is Gabriella Renee. I started this YouTube channel like a few years ago because God led me to. I was brand new in Christ and, super zealous and wanted to share my testimony about how I went to hell and had this crazy experience and, got saved and encountered by God in the shower. If you haven't seen those testimonies, go ahead and watch. There's 2 parts. But I've been with the Lord now for about 4 or 5 years, something like that. I don't know exactly. So yeah, I just want to go ahead and get into it. Okay, so back in high school, I'm 24 now, I'll be 25 in January. Back in high school, I had a very close-knit group of girlfriends. These are people that I trusted with all my heart. I loved them very, very much. I wouldn't say we were a perfect group of girls because obviously we're young, we're in high school, we're a little insecure, all these things. But they were still my friends, and these were people that I hung out with like on a daily basis. We would, I would walk home with them from school. I would go over after school or whatever it was, right? And, I was dating somebody at the time. I was always in a relationship actually, but I always felt like other girls were after my boyfriends for whatever reason. I don't know. But, I had my best friends that would, sleep with my boyfriends at the time, or there would be another group of girls that just didn't like me because of boys, and it was always about a boy, which is so stupid and unfortunate. But there was like a group of girls I felt like were just bullies on the inside, like never really came up to me face to face, but I knew that they didn't like me, and I wasn't the type of person to like not like anybody. I just didn't really care, and it kind of hurt my feelings that somebody would feel that way about me based off of a boy or based off of jealousy or insecurity, because I had compassion for them just a little bit. I wasn't a believer back then, but I kind of understood like why they didn't like me. Okay, but that was a different group of girls, and I have nothing against those girls or the group of friends that I had. I've definitely forgiven them, and like God has revealed so much to me about these girls. It makes me emotional. So God has taught me to pray for my enemies and pray for these people, which I have done. But going back to my close-knit group of friends, so I just remember one day finding out that one of my close friends slept with my boyfriend. It was really heartbreaking for me. I literally couldn't believe it because, like I said, I would have never suspected. These were girls that I hung out with 24/7. And the worst part is that all my other girlfriends knew and they didn't tell me. So that hurt even more because I felt really stupid, backstabbed, betrayed, whatever. Like, how can I be so blind? Not only them, but the man that I loved at the time. And so I just felt like everyone was against me for whatever reason. I just could never understand it because I've always felt like I was a good person, not perfect, but I just didn't understand that. I didn't understand how someone could do that to me, like personally, but hey, we're all bound to get hurt someday. And so yeah, that really tore up our relationships. I did forgive another one of my best friends that ended up sleeping with my boyfriend. So it wasn't just one of them, it was 2 of them that I know of so far to this day. And I ended up forgiving them as well, really quickly. And I think it's just because I was also young and I just wanted my girlfriends. I don't know, I can't really wrap my head around it today, but anyways, I definitely had trust issues after that. Okay, I had a lot of trust issues. I was really over the women scene. Like I don't really remember what it looked like after that, like how often we hung out, how long it lasted. I don't really know. They were kind of fabricated relationships, obviously. Then I graduated high school and I ended up moving in with a guy that I was dating at the time. And, they came over one time And I did my best to really bring hospitality to them. Like I cooked for them and I made sure that they were able to use my shower and just do all, you know, all the hospitality stuff that you can. And I remember them leaving without saying anything. Like I told them to tell me bye before they leave, or, you know, whatever, but they just didn't. They really dishonored me as their friend. And there was another time where I caught one of my friends in a lie. So I called her out for it. And that was really unfortunate. And I remember her telling me that she was shocked because I wasn't a person to call people out. And this is why it's so important to have a voice, because people can see where they can take advantage of you, because they don't think that you're going to stick up for yourself. But there came a point in my life where I finally was so tired of girls thinking that I was inadequate or just like dumb or easy to play, especially my best friends, right? So that was 10 times more aggravating. So I remember calling her out. I kind of like played the fool at first because I already knew while they were over. Like I let it all happen because I found out the day before they all came over. So I let them come over, I let them have their fun, right? And I fooled the fool. And the next day I brought it all up, like, hey, I really appreciate that you guys came, but I noticed that, you know, I caught you in a lie and here's the proof. Boom, bang, whatever, right? So I disconnected from those relationships honorably. I sent them texts and pretty much said, hey, you know, this is why I just can't be your friend anymore. Like, this is why I'm disconnecting myself from you. I have nothing against you. Like, however I said it, right? It was a long message. Another girl didn't really take it as well. And that's fine. I don't expect everyone to take it well. You know, they're trying to tell me that I wasn't perfect and this and that and the other, which I wasn't, but that wasn't the point, right? It was the fact that I kept catching you guys in lies and doing these things to me and coming against me and stuff like that. I remember another time, they like all called me on the phone with my boyfriend. They were just coming at me. Like, I don't remember what anybody said anymore, but there was one girl out of that group that I'm still friends with today, and it's because she's the only one that said sorry to me and like opened up to me about everything. Like, she just realized that she was in the wrong, and she wasn't really a part of like the group initially though. She kind of came later, and so she was like, I got caught up in it all, and I'm really sorry. And so we're best friends till this day. I love her. She was in a different state. So that's kind of my experience with women. So not only that, but also just not understanding why other groups of girls just always had a problem with me. And I look back and it really was always because of a boy. Like I mentioned before, it was always the grade above me, because I was always dating a grade above me. And so other girls didn't like that, maybe because they liked the guy or whatever the issue was. And so I was also very, very quiet in high school. So I didn't care to like say anything. Like, I was really just annoyed throughout it all. You know, but now I see today that it just doesn't matter. Okay, so whatever. So after that, I had a really, really hard time becoming friends with women. So after I graduated, it was really just me and my boyfriend. And then I met another girl, still friends with her today, that actually, it's funny because we always talk about this. I'm like, you actually didn't even like me in high school either. She didn't like me in high school or junior high or with another group of girls, right? So we always talk about that, and she's the only one that's been able to tell me that it was just because of, I don't want to speak for her, it was just because of X, Y, and Z. Like, she's the only one that actually gave me some kind of clarity about why she didn't like me, and it was her own problem. It was never really about me. So I'm still friends with her today, but that's the only girlfriend I really had. She's more of like a masculine energy. I feel like I'm the same way. I'm not really like super, super girly, and I don't have anything against that. It's just not my personality. Like, I don't know how to be super like preppy, like pink and like flowers and all that stuff. I'm just not like that. So we were able to really vibe, or we were really able to connect because of the way we were. And after that, I was never really able to be friends with anybody else. I remember getting into business opportunities, and they were really adamant on like, okay, men are going to be with men and women are going to be with women. And I was the savage that was be in the group with the men because I didn't want to be around the women. I didn't want to be judged by women anymore. I didn't want them to think anything negative of me. I didn't want to be backstabbed again. I didn't want to open up to women. I didn't care to be their friend. Like it just rubbed me the wrong way. I didn't care anymore. So I'd always be with the men, and I'm aware of how that probably looked. Like I'm sure they still looked at me and were like, how come this girl doesn't want to be with us? She probably thinks she's better than us, right? When that was definitely not the case at all. It's because I was scared of being hurt by other women. So, you know, I would be with the men, which is kind of interesting. Maybe some of you are thinking, but men also cheated on you. It's like, yeah, but it was different because friends were going to be my friends, right? But these men were not going to be my boyfriends. They were just friends that I was being around. So that was when I really started to notice that there was a problem. I didn't really know what it was yet though, because I was out of high school already for like 2-3 years. So I didn't know what was going on. And then another instance was when I came into Dallas, right? When I moved here and my boyfriend, now husband, started to introduce me to women, you know, or women just started to introduce themselves to me because we're in the same line of business. And I was just so turned off by it. Like I was trying really, really hard. And I just always had like this view of how they were gonna be and like, oh, you probably don't like me. Like you probably hate me. You probably don't like me because this is my boyfriend. Like I just had such a negative perception because that's how girls actually thought in high school that I was around specifically. Like, I don't know if every girl thinks like that. I'm pretty sure they don't because I don't think like that, right? So, man, it was just so frustrating for me. Like I was battling myself at this point because now I was a believer. I was with God for years at this point, and I'm like, okay, God, like, what is this? Like, why do I have this negativity inside of me towards women where that was never a problem? Like I used to have a group of, you know, girls that were like my BFFs, and then I started to break down the pieces, and it's like, oh, because it's like betrayal. Like, why would I want to be betrayed again, you know? So today, I'm really happy and grateful to say that I feel like God is really restoring my relationships with women. As of today, living in Dallas, I have met so many godly women. And I remember when I first moved here, I was on the bed in my room and I was praying to God, and I was like, Lord, like from my heart too, like deep down in my heart, it's like, Lord, I just want friends that want true friends just as much as I do. Like I want friends that will never backstab me, that will never talk behind my back, that will just love me for who I am, that won't be jealous. There'll be no competition, just all collaboration, just pure girl friendships. Like I want that. Like I don't want to feel like they hate me. Like I don't want to deal with those type of women, because there are always going to be those type of women out there that are just catty and that unfortunately don't care to have, you know, those tight-knit friendships. But I really, really wanted that. That was like a huge, deep desire of my heart. And then I would say God started moving like right away. I met so many women that it's honestly still weird to me. Like I have to get used to it. You know, they'll text me and I'll be like, oh yeah, I have girlfriends. Like that's so weird. You know, girlfriends that actually want to hang out with me and that actually want to be around me, that actually want to talk to me and have conversations and not worry about what guy I'm dating and like not hate me because of it. And so I don't know really why I'm sharing this. I don't think it's like too much of an intriguing story, and I definitely didn't tell you guys what happened to me in the past for any sympathy or for you to think bad about these women, because we all have our issues just like I do, and we were a lot younger back then. Nobody's perfect. I forgive them all. And I think I'm just telling this story because I'm probably not the only girl that has experienced this, or the only woman that has experienced this, where we kind of give off more of like a masculine energy because the feminine side of things kind of just irked us, right? I don't know how to explain that. Those that get it. Those that don't, they just won't, and it's okay. But I gave off more of like a bro vibe, okay? And I think that's just because I rejected women for so long after hurting me, that I've been around so many men that I kind of like exuberated that now, and I got used to it. And so it's funny because I'll be hanging out with some girls and they'll be like, I can tell you're not used to having girlfriends. And I don't know why they can tell. Maybe I'm more like closed off and reserved. Like maybe I just don't know how to act around a woman. Like, I don't know. It's very hard for me, but I'm super grateful for the women that God has brought around my life to tap into that more, because now maybe they can teach me, you know, things about women. And I told one of my friends before, like, you just make girlfriends like nothing. Like, girls are just attracted to you as a friend. Like, I don't feel like I give off that energy yet, which I want to, and I try to. It's not because I'm mean, it's not because I hate you, it's because I'm scared to get hurt, you know. And yeah, it's interesting because I always get the comment of, you're just so mysterious, right? Like, you just give off such a mysterious I don't know, there's something mysterious about you. And I think it's not really being mysterious. It's me just really being careful, because I don't want you to see where you can hurt me. And, you know, not to say that I won't be hurt ever again, but I think that's what people are feeling. It's just more like a reserved vibe in a sense. So maybe you're someone that goes through this. I would say really just pray for God to restore your relationships with women, because he does restore things, right? That's just what he does. That's what he's all about. And I'm super grateful for it. And we can go through this journey together and learn how to be friends with our kind, right? With women. We are women. Why wouldn't we want to be around women? I started to realize that that's probably really unhealthy, that I don't want to be or didn't want to be, because now I do, and now I like crave to be around women. Like, wouldn't that be so fun to like have a women's picnic and be around all women who like want to have brunch and talk about women things? Like, why would I want to be around dudes all day and just, you know, match their vibe and not talk, because I don't want to talk about boy things, you know what I'm saying? So I hope that you can relate, and I hope that maybe you can do your own digging as to why you reject women now. And I understand the scary feeling of just not wanting to be hurt by the people that you open up to, but unfortunately we cannot control that, and only God can. And that's why I just finally gave it up. I'm just like, give me girlfriends that are meant to be in my life. Give me the discernment to get rid of the women that are not meant to be in my life, because I do believe that you're obviously not going to get along with everyone, because not everyone is supposed to be your friend. You know, they don't have to be a bad person. You don't have to have anything against them. You might just not connect with people. Like, I've met some girls that I've tried to be friends with, but they're like a magnet, that they just go like this. Like, it just doesn't work, and that's okay. Like, I have nothing against them or anything. So yeah, I hope that you find some relief in watching this. Like I said, I don't really know why I'm sharing it. I'm not going to try to make it any more or any less than what it was supposed to be. So thank you for watching. I hope you have a blessed day.